let me once again welcome Dr. Vishal Khetan, an academic expert who is here to showcase some of his research in the field of surface engineering. So now, Vishal, tell me how you coating industry look at the piercing or stamping problems. How do you simulate it, and why do you think the Triton Star is a good solution for aluminum standards from
Mm,
from your point of view?
Thank you, Mohammed. So we in our coatings world look at the wear caused by aluminum stamping onto the tool in quite in detail, and we try to study as good as possible. So as Dennis was already explaining, whenever you are going to stamp or punch aluminum blank, typically you always have a residual oxide on top of these blanks, which then can form, and this is just an example illustration here, some kind of hard particles which then starts to scratch the tool. And this is one of the things we think is the origin of challenges which start to potentially, help build up of further aluminum onto the punch surface, which increases friction. And then hence, over a period of time, if the friction force is very high, leads to damage of the punch. And we see like these challenges quite often, and we have some good tools in house to simulate these kind of wear mechanisms. Could you go to the next slide, please? Uh, so we have developed a nice FT application lab here in Balzers, Liechtenstein, where we try to understand the customer needs, and we have a beautiful test method which was actually developed by Applied Material Science Group in Uppsala called the load scanner test, which helps us to simulate how a typical aluminum stamping tool may behave with respect to galling, what is nothing but sticking of aluminum. And here we can use two different rods, one being the aluminum itself, what our clients want to process, and second rod representing the tool. And we rub these two rods against each other at variable loads. So the load is continuously changing as these rods are rubbing against each other. And we can clearly start to see that different surface treatments, ranging from just a steel to say a coating, how it will behave, how the aluminum will start to tend to stick. And these kind of simulation tests help us understand the behavior of the aluminum at first hand, and then again help develop right coating solutions. For instance, we have talked about Triton Star, that it works well for the stamping industry, giving lifetime to the customers, at the same time improving the performance and getting good quality tools, good quality products coming out while using these tools when we do aluminum stamping or aluminum punching. As the question was
Mhm.
asked, why Triton Star is good, I would like to illustrate using this test in the next slide. Why Triton Star would be a better choice than compared to a bare steel. So we had a situation where the load scanner test was used to find a good DLC coatings. It's already explained to you by Pedro that DLC coatings or carbon-based coatings are actually very helpful in aluminum stamping and punching industry. So here you see a comparison on the left hand side, a test done with steel against aluminum 6000 series alloy, and these two rods, when they were rubbing against each other, you see in the graph a change in friction coefficient on the y-axis. On the x-axis you see the change in load, and on z-axis the number of times the rod was rubbing against each other. And when we work with, say, a steel like Orvar Supreme or many other steels which were tested with this particular test, uh, we could run maximum 15 to 20 cycles of this rods rubbing against each other. And then over a period of time, the friction started to grow heavily, as you see the red color, which is showing you friction coefficient of up to 1. which originates due to galling of aluminum. Now, when you put a coating, say like Triton Star, first of all, the test could easily run for up to 200 cycles where we stopped the test because it was not needed more. And you see the friction develops over a period of time, but there are certain load ranges like 0 to 350 Newton where we see no galling taking place. And further, at higher loads also, the galling is not significant enough as we see for a bare steel, making Triton Star an ideal solution for aluminum punching and stamping applications. So these kind of tests have helped us to work with our clients in a good way to choose the right solution for them. Triton Star being one of the best, I would say, average solution. And if there are special needs or we need to modify something, check it out. We can do it directly with our clients using this kind of tools which we have available in-house. Uh,
Okay.
And finally, we just go one step deeper here to show you how a coating really protects the tool. So we have seen that again, the main challenge in punching is the scratches which get initiated due to different particles or residues which are released during the punching process. Uh, they start to generate scratches wherein the aluminum will build on top. But when we visualize this sticking process, it was seen that DLC coating, first of all, can resist the whole scratching process much better than steel. Point number one. Point number two, we always see that the coating is always intact. It's always about the surface where the sticking takes place, and hence the tool is protected. Well, we do not damage the tool right away. One can always clean up the aluminum if the garling is heavy, or we can change the coating type. But we always see in aluminum forming a cutting that majority of the cases, the wear, once you use a coating, the wear reduces significantly. And that's how we cooperate with Dayton to give these coatings on top of their tool to give our clients the best performance they need in terms of quality of product produced, in terms of the lifetime of the tool, in terms of having better machining time, processes with lesser downtimes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. It was fascinating. Thank you. And now we have the time for the questions and answers. So if anybody needs to ask